So let me just say to Megyn Kelly, in my 30-some years as a journalist and my 50-some years as a person of color, go fuck yourself. Okay? I usually don't like to talk about her because she's one of those people, she thrives on it. She has built the second part of whatever of her career on being a troll. So this is what
Don Lemon is completely mad and melting down over what Megyn Kelly said about Joy Reid. Let's hear it.
The big news tonight will be Joy Reid's final show on MSNBC. Single tear, white woman tears happening right here, Joy. She was officially fired over the weekend because she's a racist, horrible news anchor with no ratings. And that's really been the truth for a long time. MSNBC's under new management, and I guess they decided to come to grips with reality. The truth is, this is very sad news for us, as she's provided so much material over the years. I feel the way I felt when Brian Stelter got fired, but he came back, and you never know. I'm sure Joy Reid will wind up doing something where we will continue to get to respond to her absolutely insane POV. The big news.
That's right. Nobody will miss Joy Reid. Honestly, let's hear what some of our colleagues has to say.
However, this week I'm taking a slightly different approach and addressing someone completely irrelevant. I'm speaking, of course, about Megyn Kelly. The 50-year-old bully is trying to bulldoze her way back into relevance that only comes to women like her for being a provocateur, not for offering any type of intellectual input. Nevertheless, here we are. Why? Because the blackface connoisseur who had to apologize for ridiculously asking why it was racist for white people to wear blackface for Halloween is now going after someone who's less than half her age but has twice her intelligence. 23-year-old Naomi Osaka, who announced she would not.
They are obviously mad at Megyn Kelly. They are not happy that Joy Reid got fired, and they are probably next.
An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
This is absolutely ridiculous. They are not losing their show because they are non-white. They are losing their show because nobody cares about what they have to say, because their show is completely and simply terrible. And let's hear her melting down right there.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted, and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life, and defended them.
Honestly, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you think your show added value or not. MSNBC is a business. All they want is clicks, they want views, they want advertising money, and they want ratings. If you don't bring ratings to the network, you are going to get canceled, you are going to get fired, and that's just that simple.
Megyn Kelly said about Joy Reid, right? And remember, Joy Reid is a woman, Megyn Kelly is a woman. She's supposed to be all about women and, you know, supports women. Okay, so this is what she said. Remember when Joy Reid laughingly mocked white women tears as pathetic and offensive to her? Who's crying now, Joy? Good riddance to the absolute worst person on television, and shame on NBC for letting it go on this long. And she has a, you know, she is an axe to grind when it comes to MSNBC. And also, this whole, she's racist, right? It's just, I'm going to give you the evidence. Supposedly learned from it and then spent every day after apologizing for it and being fired for it, then spent every day proving the point that she is a racist. And not very supportive of women. If you look, all you have to do, the evidence is in her Google search and what she says about women, how she calls them out all the time.
I'm sorry to say, but we all know that MSNBC is not a news network. It is political activism. They are only here to push their political agenda onto people. They are not here to report facts or report the news at all. That's why they got canceled. That's why the network is failing.
No, Megyn Kelly. The worst person on television was fired from NBC in the Today Show a few years ago, and that's Megyn Kelly. That's the worst person who's not on television anymore. Is you. That's the worst person who's not on television. So hurrah for that. NBC did something good with that. You know why? I like to give proof of things, evidence. Like when I said Donald Trump, the president of the United States, was racist, it wasn't my opinion. This isn't my opinion about Megyn Kelly. The evidence is there. I'm going to show you the evidence of Megyn Kelly, and that's just as I showed you the evidence of Donald Trump.
Honestly, the same thing happened to Don Lemon. He just got fired from CNN because nobody watched his show. He has terrible takes and nobody cares about what he has to say. And it's just funny to watch him completely melt down over Joy Reid getting fired, losing her show, and not having a job anymore, despite promoting great issues and adding value to the world. Like she said, if you don't bring the views, if you don't bring the ratings, you're gonna get cancelled. We live in a harsh world, in a harsh reality, where if you don't bring actual value to the viewers, you will be over. As a black man, I just want to say, F Joy Reid. She's even worse to black conservatives. We do not. She viciously led hate mob against all kind of people, but especially black Republicans with that platform. She was nastier to black conservatives than to anyone. No sympathy at all for her. Sorry, not sorry. Wow. This is what you get. I feel no sorrow for her at all. Nope. Not only did her show have no value, it had negative value. Good riddance. Good riddance. The bully always cries hardest. Karma, baby, hilarious. What goes around, come around. Very happy she's gone. Thank God. This is a face of black fragility. Nothing makes me happier than racist tears. What a glorious day to see Joy Reid getting axed. She still does not get it. Cry harder. That's funny to me to see how people are not missing Joy Reid at all and not holding back at all against Joy Reid losing her show on MSNBC. And I think Rachel Maddow will be next. I think Rachel Maddow just calling MSNBC racist for firing Joy Reid will have dire consequences in the future. This is not exactly what she says, but that's why she implied that because they were non-black, that's why they were fired from MSNBC. But I don't believe so. I believe their show is simply terrible and don't bring enough views, and that's why they got cancelled. That's why Joy Reid canceled. Nobody wanted to watch her show anymore. The network MSNBC is in big trouble. They don't have any views. Nobody watches legacy media anymore. And now that the majority of the country is on the side of Trump and behind Trump and what he is doing, MSNBC and CNN and NBC and ABC, they are gonna have a very terrible, a very hard job to bring the view back to their network. I think nobody cares about legacy media anymore. Everybody is on social media, on X, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram, and nobody watches the news on legacy media anymore. We want more independent voices, and that's what the youth of the country and everywhere all over the world is asking. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below this video. I appreciate you being here as always. Thanks for watching and staying with me. And click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye.